You think you make decisions rationally. You plan. You weigh pros and cons. You feel in control. But the truth is, your brain has other ideas. Every day, invisible currents pull your choices, nudging you without warning. Even when you feel confident, emotions are quietly steering the wheel. Anger can make you overreact to a simple comment. Anxiety can freeze you in moments that demand action. Excitement can trick you into risk you would never normally take. And these aren't rare occurrences. They happen to everyone, every day, without notice. Scientists have discovered that our emotional centers fire before our rational mind even registers the situation. The amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure deep in your brain, reacts instantly. It flags danger, reward, or social threat before your conscious thoughts catch up. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, can only respond afterward. This means your rational decision is often a reaction, a response shaped by hidden currents you barely recognize. You may believe you chose calmly, but your emotions have already drawn the lines. Even tiny feelings like irritation, hope, or curiosity can tip the balance. Imagine shopping online late at night. A subtle ad triggers excitement. Suddenly, you convince yourself it's a much. Hours later, you wonder why you spent money you didn't plan to spend. It wasn't logic that drove you. It was a surge of dopamine, a whisper of emotional pull. Our emotions hijack decisions in relationships too. You might say something you regret in anger, then justify it rationally afterward, or hesitate to speak up out of fear, even though logic tells you the risk is small. These patterns repeat silently, shaping careers, friendships, and daily routines. Even our long-term choices are not immune. From investments to health decisions, emotions act like invisible hands, guiding us toward what feels right in the moment. Fear of loss, desire for status, or the pull of instant gratification often outweigh deliberate reasoning. And yet, we rarely notice the invisible tug until it's too late. The fascinating part is that these emotional hijacks are not mistakes. They evolved to protect us, to help us survive in unpredictable environments. In ancient times, a split-second fear response could save a life. But in modern life, those same circuits often misfire, steering choices that seem irrational in hindsight. Becoming aware doesn't mean you eliminate emotion. It means recognizing the subtle signals that are influencing your decisions. You start noticing patterns. When stress clouds judgment, when excitement inflates risk, when fear freezes action, this awareness gives you a quiet pause, a moment to question, reflect, and sometimes override the emotional pull. Even small interventions work. Naming the feeling, pausing for a breath, asking yourself, is this my choice or my emotions? Over time, these moments of clarity accumulate, giving you subtle control over what once felt uncontrollable. It's a fascinating paradox. Your emotions are powerful, inevitable, unavoidable, and yet entirely understandable. Once you see the patterns, you gain insight not just into your decisions, but into yourself. Your impulses, your fears, your desires will become maps rather than traps. The more you observe, the less your emotions hijack you, and the more your decisions reflect not just fleeting feelings, but conscious intention. It doesn't happen overnight, but awareness is the first step. So next time you feel an invisible nudge, pause. Notice the emotion. Ask why it's there. Watch how it shapes your choice. You may be surprised at how often you were pulled and how often you can now steer back. If this insight gave you pause, consider subscribing. We explore the hidden currents of the mind, uncovering how emotions, habits, and unseen patterns shape every part of your life. Understanding your mind is the first step to mastering it, one decision at a time.